Anyway, so my next item for the day, I have Mr. Bernard Kelvin Clive in the studio, and we are going to review his book, The No-Nonsense Guide to Personal Branding for Career Success. You're welcome to the studio, Bernard.
Thank you, Anita.
I like Bernard. How are you doing?
Good as good here.
Anyway, you know, I like books with strong titles. It sort of gets your attention. Like chicken soup for the soul, or so and so book for dummies or idiots. You know, you see it and you're wondering, what is the book all about? This is quite like also a strong one. The No-Nonsense Guide to Personal Branding for Career Success. Sometimes we have nonsense guides.
It's a no-nonsense guide because it's straight to the point. You don't want any nonsense.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Absolutely. Anyway, so tell us about the, in quotes, the nonsense guides sometimes. Go ahead. Feel free.
Probably things that doesn't meet what the book's content say, that it doesn't meet up, match up. This is what you want the book to talk about, but it's not really as deceptive as a lot of fluff.
I know you're a bit uncomfortable talking about the word, the nonsense guide. It's okay. It is okay. So we'll move on to your book, The No-Nonsense Guide. People don't think about personal branding so much. They go to school, they get education, they're done, they get a job, and then they settle into the regular lifestyles, and that's it. Why does a person need personal branding?
Exactly, especially in this age, and that is the key to, one of the keys to success or to succeed even in any business as a person, for career, for employment, is your personal brand. I always say that having an impressive CV or resume now, it's just out of the way. It's about the personal brand.
It's like having a first degree.
Exactly, so that you need a brand, that what you really stand for and what you're pursuing and the value you bring to others, that becomes your brand. So that's more important for any other person. If your future is important, you want to make a mark on the earth, then you need to pay more attention to your personal brand.
Okay, so give them practical examples. Let's say my cameraman here, Ken. How can Ken brand himself? You know, if you're talking to Ken, let's say to the layman, how can you explain this to the person? We've spoken big English here, but how do you break it down?
Okay, I break the steps into what I call the 4Ds or 4Ps that anyone can follow to build a brand. And basically, if you want to follow the Ps, is purpose, and your personal purpose, what I call self-discovery. Who are you? So you're much more than your name or your tribe or whatever, but you need to find your purpose. That's the most important thing.
Let me ask you. Let them use you as an example.
Oh, okay.
Who are you? Who is Bernard?
Bernard Kelvin Clive is the person who help others to live their God-given dreams, brand themselves, and publish books.
Great.
So that stands for my mission statement, what I can help people to position themselves as brands and live their dreams, their true purpose in life.
So then, must Ken realize what his brand is, or somebody can identify Ken's brand and explain to him, break it down to him?
Okay, for that to do with what you call the purpose discovery stage, that if he's not found his purpose, then people can point out, give him some cues and clues to I think you're good at this. Your shots are excellent, but you need to polish, so you can find some few things. The basic thing is find your true purpose, not what just society or parents want you to do. When you find your purpose, then you need to move on to the next stage. Prepare yourself. I need to be an author. How many books do I need to read? And which authors am I following? How am I writing style? So you need to prepare. So as a cameraman, how am I preparing? Am I doing some shots at home and editing some videos, being just on my own? Then you move to the next stage, what they call the positioning. That's the key. There are lots of cameramen, but how do I stand out among the masses? How different is my video, like Bookbag? How different is the video? What unique thing can I bring to others that will position myself? Then the last piece is what I call your positioning, your publicity. You can be good, but if nobody can locate you, it's just good really for nothing. So you find ways, tools, materials, resources to help you position. And in this age, I would say that people need not to forget about the internet aspect, because it's key aspect in building a brand, a person. The internet, the online and offline stuff. You look at how do I manage my online presence and offline presence. Are they congruent with one another? Then you need how do you do all these things too? So
there was this profound, quote that I saw somewhere. It was about advertisement, and it said, doing business without advertising is like winking at a girl in the dark. Only you know what you're doing, but nobody else does.
Exactly.
So if you do not put yourself out there, nobody can know what you're capable of doing. Right. But all these things that we say, people always say that these things are easier said than done. We write long English, publish fantastic books, but sometimes the advice is not applicable to everybody. Do you agree to that notion?
Yes. Okay. I'll put it this way. First of all, every book is not for everyone, and it's for specific people. Every book has its audience. But when you look at personal branding in general, everyone is a brand. Unconsciously, you might be building a brand. So it's up to you to decide to build your brand consciously.
Great.
Because all of us here in the studio has a brand. I always ask that if I ask Anita, can you tell me any watch you sell in your area? I think you can point at someone. Though you might even not know her name, but you know where she's located, because one, her watch is good. Something about it that you really want to even queue for.
Why did you say watch? Did you see me standing by something?
I'm just kidding. So those are the things that you could do it consciously. That if someone is looking for a good, photographer in your area, can they find you? Or when you want to mention some names,
will you be recommended?
Exactly. So what will make somebody recommend you? Your name pops up when certain issues come up.
Will somebody recommend you as a good cameraman? He says yes.
Okay,
so I'm hoping.
Good, exactly.
I am hoping. Okay, I want to come to this one. Your career, a successful career life always begins with you. And A to Z simple strategies for building personal brands. Tweeting your way to success. Exactly. What has Twitter got to do with anything?
Because it's helped you to build your online presence so that you can tweet. Just last week, someone can retweet another author's book, and the person got over 1 million sold of books because they retweets, because of the power. So you can work out your online presence with Twitter and all that too.
Great,
so that's one way to use that.
Go on. It's your book. It's your book. Go on.
So that has to do with the online presence. I always say that if Google can't find you, you don't exist. So that in this age, that if you even apply for a job, most of the recruiting companies want to go online.
No, but that's not fair. Not everybody is on the internet.
Exactly.
My grandma in the village is not on the internet, or she doesn't count.
In certain spheres, it doesn't really matter. But as a graduate or growing up person, because that's where you can be even discovered.
If Google can't find you, then you don't exist.
Yeah. So that
if you're a business-minded person.
Exactly. So that you need to position yourself that way they can locate you. Most of these good musicians just started by just using YouTube channels, putting their own videos or voice online. Somebody can then discover you. But when you sit in the dark, like you mentioned, nobody knows what you can do. So if you're good at something, let's see your result, then let's work with you.
Great.
So that's about your online presence. Then you look at offline activities to ways really to connect with people. For offline, it's exactly one of the key things is building strong relationship with people. That is one key to success. We always say that whom you know, but more importantly, who knows you? Okay, so that if the person can then mention your name or recommend you, so we need to build solid relationship in every aspect of our life. That those who really matter, how you can always help people. I always say there's two things: offer value and service. How can I help somebody today? Martin
you think people really think about that? How can I help somebody today?
Most people don't.
Or how can I make money today? That is more like it.
If you put the money first, you get a lot of things wrong. But if you put value creation and service, things will fall in place. It might take a longer time, but you are building your credibility, because in this age, you can't microwave a lot of things. You can't microwave. You need to go through the mill, go through the process. So if you stand for value creation, service, then with time, people can find you. With time, your brand will start selling, and the product and things you do will be discovered by others because you offer value, credibility, and consistency, constancy. These are the things that drive every single brand or every person to the top.
So this book talks about you as a person, how to brand yourself, how to use the social media to your advantage. And it goes in depth to talk about Twitter, all these other, social media, Facebook and all that. But then I noticed that you wrote somewhere, since not to commit on social media. Did I get it right?
Yeah,
since to stop committing on social media. Do people commit sin on the social media?
I use a sin as
sins in quotes, of course, yes.
But things that people do that which are really wrong or need not to be done.
Business-wise, you mean?
Business and personal-wise.
Personal-wise.
A typical example, you can just post that, I'm home alone. Online, you have your telephone number, you have your house location. You say, I'm home alone. And previously, you've been posting pictures about what do you have. Somebody can then trace you home. So some of these things need not to be done. Posting images about you, about yourself, and certain things need not to be social, but certain things are really
Are
private.
really are sins. They are they are they
So
are
that's-
sins.
yeah.
Okay. So Bernard is launching his book. When are you launching it?
Sunday, 1st December.
Okay. So Sunday, 1st December, the venue is?
ICGC Prayer Temple, North Legon.
Okay. So I'm not going to say, okay, I will be there definitely. No, I won't
no,
promise
I won't
anything, but if
yeah.
I can, I will be the 1st December ICGC Prayer Temple,
Yeah,
North
North Legon.
Legon.
Pastor
And it's
Lucas
called The
Church.
No Nonsense Guide to Personal Branding for Career Success. It's quite a cute book that you can carry anywhere that you want. So let's help him launch this book successfully. It's always great having you.
It's a pleasure.
Great having you. I will see you soon.
One Ghana for your pockets.
If you thought getting an amazing 100 minutes from Vodafone to make calls for just one Ghana city was great, then here's even better news to blow your mind.
One Ghana city, no. One Ghana city here.
One Ghana for your pockets. Yeah.
Okay, from Scotland, only there one Ghana city with you, One Ghana for your pocket. 103 minutes for your phone top. One Ghana for your pocket. Charlie, the John, what's up?
Now you can do more with One Ghana City. Put your feet up and make free calls. Send free SMS and browse on the internet till you fall asleep for only One Ghana City. Dial 7272 to register now.
Vodafone, power to you.
V for victory. V for life.
V for visionary. V for life.
V for Vim. V for life.
V for Vanessa. V for life.
V for V for life.